Hashem Rakakudah, Shalom to the 144,000, the rest of the elect out there, Shalom to you all. I'm going to entitle this video, Will All the Nations of the Earth, or Families of the Earth, be blessed, pursuant to Genesis 12 verse 3. That goes into the Gentile question. I didn't put anything together. I don't have no scriptures lined up. I'm just going to go by the Spirit. So whatever scriptures come to mind, I'll bring them to you. Anyway, when I was putting this together, this is the second video. I clicked on another video dealing with the same subject. This was 5 days ago, put up 5 days ago. Digital ID support collapses as public rejects biometric surveillance state. Alan Miller. So they're based out of the UK. You can hear her accent. This is not a. I'm not familiar with this news company, but anyway, this is what I'm gonna do. Let me do it this way. Let me put up the subtitles. So I'm just gonna let it go. You're not gonna hear anything. So interesting to see that across the public political arena, from what they call left to the center and the right, which we have in this country, there's unanimity in this. The idea that we have a biometric, there goes biometric again, biometric, bio meaning life or living thing, metric meaning measure. If you get a palm scan to go to Whole Foods, you set up an account, you use your palm, and the palm recognize you when the scanner recognizes your palm print, and it links to your bank account, and it deducts if you spend $50 at Whole Foods, and it will deduct, the money from the bank digitally into their account. So ultimately, you can have a digital fingerprint, you can have a digital palm print, you can have a face scan. You can have an eye scan. They showed you that in the movie Minority Report. So ultimately, the chip is the ultimate goal. Is to actually put a chip in your right hand, left hand, forehead, and your brain, which means it's also biometric. So biometric covers what? Palm print, digital palm print, digital fingerprint, digital facial recognition, iris or eye scan, and ultimately the chip. So it says the idea that we have a biometric surveillance state, that the chip is set up to surveil you wherever you might be. And I said this in previous videos. I'm just touching this. I'm not going to go into this subject, but this came up. So you have the people. Like here's a video right here. This was put up 5 months ago. British police arrest people for carrying cash. This was 5 months ago. So let's go ahead and let it roll. We have a biometric surveillance state, constantly censoring, constantly surveying and monitoring the public. The British public do not want this. But you know what? They're going to have to accept it. They're going to have to accept it, or they'll be off the grid. All these supermarket stores, grocery stores, wherever you go to buy food, they'll be connected to that grid. And if you don't comply, you can't buy or sell. Like I said, I didn't want to go into the subject, but the spirit is making me go into the subject. British public do not want this, so it's fantastic to see that. But at the same time, we know that the people that are in power, the government, are quite determined to make sure this happens in an array of ways. So we have to stay very vigilant together. Yeah. So that's that's them protesting. You know, he's speaking on behalf of the people protesting. But guess what? It's going to go through. It's going to go through. I would guess that 95+% of the people on the planet Earth will be chipped. Ultimately. So anyway, let me open this back up. So here's a video. You want to watch it. If I remember, I'll put in a link. But here we go. Digital ID support collapses as public rejects biometric surveillance state. Alan Miller. So you can watch it. It's only 10 minutes and change long. Anyway, you know what? Let me go ahead and check this out. And I'm gonna get into the main subject of.
Yeah, I'm gonna call this video, "What is Captain Tazariak babbling about?" What is Captain Tazariak babbling about? Now, if you saw my previous video, you already know where I'm going with this. This was a video put up by Elder Pashai from Assyrians DMV.
Okay, so Apostle Gabai put up a video. I was watching some of it, dealing with the same subject, but it was a longer video. I believe it's an hour and change long. So here he did a short. So this was recently. The video that he did, the long video, I think he did yesterday sometime.
He comes out of the Baltimore/Washington D.C. camp, and he put up this video. Captain Tazariak doesn't push the kingdom in his doctrine. Acceptable year of our Lord.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. When we read the scriptures, it's all about the Most High setting up men of the Lord through the foolishness of preaching, 1 Corinthians, through the web. And if you're part of the elect, you're going to come into this thing. You're going to stay in this thing. You know, you can be called but not chosen. A lot of people have been called. We got brothers through the years that were called but not chosen, and they fell off. They got kicked out. They fell off, and they went back into the world. They set up their own thing, and they might have lasted for 6 months. And all they do is talk about us, how terrible the men of GMS, the leadership of GMS are, and they don't have the truth. And they have the truth. Some of them go 6 months, 3 months. Some of them go a year, 2 years. Then they fall off. Then they just disappear. Because the oil was not in you. The little bit of oil that you had left got burnt out. Remember, when you go to Matthew 25, it says that the wise virgins took more oil, extra oil. So when they needed it, you know, you had the people that had half the oil. It's just like a smartphone. Your smartphone, you forgot to charge it up. You got 10% left, so you got to be real careful when somebody calls. You called my thing. I lost my charge or whatever. Well, it's the same thing with the lamp. You know, you make sure you charge your phone up. But like myself, if I don't, I have a charge in the car. So, I didn't charge my car. I'm gonna charge 50%. Let me put it on. Let me charge it in the car. So, you know, that's like the oil. When you go out in the dark, you're going to be out there all night in the dark. You better have enough oil to last you through the whole night. So anyway, So anyway, I said all that to say this. The only ones that's going to get this, who's going to see, who have the eyesight, and going to see through dark sentences, understanding scripture, Revelation 13 and 16, there I go again. It speaks about the MOTB, but other camps can't see it. Now let's say the camp leaders are they know that it's true, but they sold out. Well, the people that follow them, they don't see it. So I'm not going to buck up against the leader. The Most High is dealing with this guy. So whatever he says, I'm going to blindly follow. There I go, talking about the MOTB again. But that's the spirit. That's the spirit.
And right around here, the host, or one of the hosts of this podcast, asked him a question. What is this Hebrew Israelite thing of ours all about? So listen to the answer that Tazariak gives. It's a whole lot of mumbo jumbo, a whole lot of psychobabble. Okay, and above all, true prophets of the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua, they don't.
And if, let's say, Captain Tazariak was in GMF, he couldn't be going on these different shows. Just go out on the highways and the byways. And if there is a thing that's set up that you go on the show, you got to tell them that they're Israelite, not meet them halfway. No, there's no compromise with this thing. You got to tell them that they're Israelites, that the Most High is dealing with the elect only. If you're part of the elect, you're going to see it. If you're not a part of the elect, you're not going to see it. And ultimately, you're going to be destroyed. And before you get destroyed, you're going to get a chip in you if you make it that far. But don't worry, because you're going to come back in the kingdom through us, through the ones that make it. That's it. It's all about the kingdom. This is all about the kingdom. The kingdom, the scriptures say the kingdom is prepared for you, right? Part of the prophecy of the kingdom is us going back to the land. Ezekiel 37, there's a bunch of Hosea 3, verse 5 on down to the end. I believe that's the fifth verse, the last verse. Speaks about us going back to the kingdom. There was another precept. There was a bunch of precepts that lead us back. That the fulfillment is to lead us back into the kingdom. I was going through some, and I did it on a video. But there's a bunch of Isaiah 14, Zechariah 14. You know, Jeremiah 5. There's plenty of scriptures that speak about us going back to being taken back to the kingdom. So that's what you speak. It's all about the kingdom. This is all leading up to the kingdom, and only the elect will be delivered. And what's going to happen to this place, this system, is going to be destroyed. If you're living in America, the continent, the state, the country, America, the U.S. If you're living here, you're going to be destroyed if you're not one of the elect, because you're not going to be delivered. That's it. Anything outside of that is vanity.
Don't talk like that. So let's go.
Bring generational brotherhood. And it starts with us taking accountability for the shit that we played in that warfare. So if I was a drug dealer, if I was a thief, if I was a murderer, if I was whatever I played a part in that warfare. So I can't now say, man, the ghetto was fucked up when I fucked it up. So we make, as Israelites, we make us hold each other accountable and then go forgive that brother for the offense that he did to me, because I need a plethora of brothers to forgive me for the offense that I committed against them. Now, once we can fix that, and then now I can come to you. Let's say me and you was at full out odds, and then I find out I'm an Israelite, and I come to you and I apologize, and I come to you and I make amends. You might say, damn, what made him, because he wanted to kill me 2 weeks ago, what made him want to stop? Then that might inspire you to stop. That's the real life, boots on the ground solution. So yes, we have to come back to the Most High, but what does that look like? That looks like you going out into the streets where our brothers and sisters at and showing them that.
Yeah, but I'm saying once we do that, what is the next steps from that? Because I know divide and conquer, that's the answer, right? Okay, I'm Christian, I'm Muslim, okay, we at odds. We can't never come together. I'm Israelite, I believe in the devil, we at odds.
Okay, he answered in a funny way. I wouldn't answer it that way. I would basically, like I said, I gave the thing, the scenario. This is the Most High's program. we broke the laws of the Most High. The Most High put us in this condition. The Most High is setting up the kingdom, but He's only going to use the elect. Let's say you're talking directly to this brother, and you say, if you're one of the elect, you're going to hear this message, and whatever you were, Muslim, whatever the hell you were, atheist, whatever the hell you were, you're going to drop that, and you're going to start teaching. You're going to learn more, and then you're going to become a teacher. Ultimately, the Most High is looking for teachers, starting with the apostles. That's what it says: apostles, prophets, teachers, evangelists, which are all teachers. That makes up the elect. So the elect is which is a small number compared to the whole nation. So the whole nation, our job is not to wake up the whole nation. Our job is to push it out there, so that everybody that has a web comes across it. Jake knows about the Israelite thing, the whole Israelite thing. They know about the different groups and so forth. But if you're not of the elect and you're here in America, ultimately what you're going to do, you're going to take them. That's when the mark of the beast subject comes in. You see how I slipped that in there? Ultimately, what's going to happen in the future, if you're not one of the, if this guy says, I'm just using him. He says, well, I tell him, well, you got to be a part of the elect to get it. If he says, well, what if I'm not a part of the elect and I decide to live in America? I would say, ultimately, you're going to take the chip, if you live that long, and you're going to die here in America, and you're going to eat a missile, because America is going to be destroyed. Babylon's going to be destroyed by thermonuclear fire, and I will set her on fire, as the scriptures say. So if you're not one of the elect, there's nothing I can do. You're going to die, but you're going to come back as newborn babies. And when you come back as newborn babies, as Han would say in Enter the Dragon, a baby's born knowing only life. In other words, a baby knows what the mother and the father and the mother teaches them. So if you can't get it on this side, I ain't a Hebrew Israelite, I'm a Christian, I'm this, F y'all, black woman is God, that Most High got to delete you. You're going to be deleted. And then you're going to come back, and then you're going to come back the right way, because you're going to start all over as a newborn baby. You ain't going to come out of your mother's baby talking about the black woman's God. You ain't going to be quoting fucking scriptures from the 42 negative confessions from the Book of the Dead. You're not going to come out speaking, being able to break down being able to go into the Metu Neter, however you say it. You're not going to be able to look at a hieroglyph. See, this is a hieroglyphic, and when you look at that fish represents this, and that represents the river. You see the squiggly mark there? You see that there? That's a falcon. That represents power. And Pharaoh, no, you're not going to come out. You're going to come out as a newborn baby fucking crying and getting a woman's titty in your mouth. That's it. So it's very simple. Our message is very simple. If you're one of the elect, you're going to understand it. Your pineal gland will be open. Right? And you're going to see it. You want to elect, you'll see it. If they're not of the elect, they're not going to see it. You're going to say, I'm no longer with this show. I'm changing my thing. I'm not talking all this other stuff. I don't even know about this show. But Jake got all these different podcasts, right?
We can't never come together. Once we do that, now we're talking about building infrastructure. Because when I look at the black race, we don't have no power because of that.
Well, what you mean build it? It takes years to build something. So we in the time now where if Captain Tazariak knew about the mark of the beast, and he was the videos that I've been putting up for the last couple of days. I always put these videos up. My favorite subject as Elder Manat Akbar said, well, this is the hard favorite. You damn right it is. It is. I'm always going to speak on it. I'm always going to throw it up in there. They might throw a microchip in there. Yep, that's what I do. But anyway, he said, well, okay, once we come together, we got to build infrastructure. We got to build buildings. That's when you come in, Captain, and you say this place is getting ready to go. They're already pushing out the MOTB, which is the mark of the beast. When that happens before the destruction. Destruction coming to this goddamn place, not rebuilding. We're not going to rebuild America. We're here to serve punishment.
We don't have no foothold.
So this guy said building infrastructure.
Yeah, which takes years. Let's say we all get together as black people. Black people coming together. We finally come together. We love each other. No more gangbangers. We put up the guns, this, that, and the other. No more selling drugs. And we all come together. We have doctors, lawyers, engineers. And we're going to build this place up. Okay, how many years does it take to build up buildings? It takes years. That's why this plan with Trump got is going to totally, it's total poppycock. It's nonsense. We're gonna bring tariffs against China so that Americans don't buy Chinese goods, and we're gonna set up factories, and we're gonna train people to run these factories, and then we're gonna export goods to other nations. In a perfect world, we're talking about what 5 years. In a perfect world. And meanwhile, the prices done went up because you set a tariff on them, and you got these stupid Americans clapping, yay, a tariff against China. Now you're arguing, the tariffs kicked in. Now you're getting mad because the price went up, and you're gonna blame it on China because you don't know. You're stupid. You're stupid. That's the only word I can use. Stupid. Some of you are waking up to the fact that Trump, the tariff, 1 and 1 makes 2. I just figured it out. The reason why prices went up because this guy set up tariffs around the world. You know, you motherfuckers that can't get it, fuck y'all, man. Real talk.
Right. Here's the thing, right? Yahushua is on his way to destroy this infrastructure.
That's the right answer. That's the right answer. You cut him on his head. First of all, we're not here to build nothing up. This is not our fucking land. This is not our place. You ain't gonna get no reparation. If you think about getting reparation, you ain't getting no reparations. Esau ain't gonna give you no reparations, man. If he said I'm gonna give you reparations, that's trillions of dollars, man. And they know if you're gonna have Jake that's gonna blow that money. They're gonna go to Cadillac shop, they're gonna go to the dealership. Every nigga gonna have a fucking studio. You wanna be the next rapper. Them small hats and them Arabs, they're gonna be happy because you're gonna buy all these gold pieces, Jesus pieces and whatnot. But then there's a percentage, let's say 40% of Jake that's gonna make shit happen. And they're going to push you right up. So that's competition right there. For you to give trillions of dollars away to Jake, they're going to turn around and push you out. And this time they're going to say, well, we're not going to be like Black Wall Street. They didn't have an army. We're going to have an army.
And then set up his kingdom on the planet Earth in righteousness. Yeah,
he should have told them that we're in the last days. The Most High is getting ready. These are the last few prophecies. If he knew understood the MOTB, the mark of the beast, he would tell them, it's already rolled out. They already have the technology. It's a matter of convincing people to take the chip. And then once the chip, like I've been saying, once the chip becomes mandatory and 95% of the earth take the chip, that's when this man gonna go down. Why would the Most High say, okay, I'm gonna let them have the chip for 10 years. We're gonna be here for 10 years with the chip. No. I believe, and the Most High didn't say that, it's not in the scriptures, but I believe, let me tell you what I believe. I believe strongly that once that chip is fully in place and the majority of the people of the planet Earth take it, then we're counting down the months. Could be a month, could be 2 months, could be 3 months. It's counting down to months. I don't even think it's going to go 6 months because that prophecy came. The deliverance, the destruction, and the kingdom of heaven can only come to pass once the MOTB comes to pass. That's a major topic, man. And like I said, when that comes out, y'all gonna get shook up. Your head's gonna blow up, Captain, and you're gonna either, if you want to elect, you're gonna say, let me go get with G, and I got to go get with Tahar. I got to look for answers. I'm trying to find answers. Well, we gave you the answers. You snapped on us. You called us, and I heard it, brother. I seen you and Captain, what's his name, Katazak. I seen y'all say, oh yeah, GMS, their high priest is Alex Jones. But I didn't get mad. I didn't get mad. And you kind of laughed it off. I laughed it off too. I said, but who's going to get the last laugh? We are. You might be looking for Alex Jones. Let me go see if I can kiss Alex Jones' ring and he'll save me.
The message that you're supposed to bring. As a true prophet of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, that's the message you're supposed to bring. Well, our Lord is on his way to destroy the society. 1 Corinthians.
That's it. Very simple. Very simple. You don't got to use a whole bunch of words. You don't have to be eloquent, right? Paul said I was rude in speech, but not in knowledge. Merely paraphrasing, you know?
Corinthians 15 and 24. All right? Listen.
Let me just find something. Rude in speech. I spelled speech wrong. Come on now. All right, let me do it this way. I'm sorry. Let me do it this way. Bring it back. I spelled speech wrong. Should come up now. 2 Corinthians 11 verse 6. But though I be rude in speech, yet not in knowledge, but we have been thoroughly made manifest among you in all things. But though I be rude in speech, see, some people say, well, see, I would listen to GMS, but they curse every once in a while. Well, that's being rude in speech. Your attitude, you got to bring it down some levels. It said exhort the voice. Shake the hand that they may go into the gates of the noble.
Strong's G 2399. Idiotes. Idiotes.
Idiotes, that's where you get the word idiot, I believe. Unlearned, ignorant, rude. Meaning, you got these people use exegesis, eisegesis, hermeneutics. Those are theological cemetery words. Because that's what the vocab spews out. He regurgitates the nonsense that you learn at that cemetery. A private person, or as opposed to a magistrate, ruler, king, a common soldier, as opposed to a military officer, a writer of pros, as opposed to poet. I look up that word pros. In the New Testament, an unlearned, illiterate man, as opposed to the learned and educated one who is unskilled in any art. So that's how they look at us. That's how vocab. Well, they don't know what we know, because I spend X amount of years I got a master's degree, and you still don't know the scriptures, man. You don't know the prophecies. Let me look up this word. It says a writer of prose as opposed to a poet. Let's look up the word prose. Prose meaning. Give me a second, y'all. Prose. Written or spoken language in its ordinary form without metrical structure. Another term for sequence, scene for compose or convert into prose. Talk tediously, prosing on about female beauty. A short story in prose. Let me try this. Written or spoken language in its ordinary form without metrical structure. You just speaking, you know? Let me look this up. Metrical structure. Bear with me for a minute, y'all. So if we curse, you gotta, hey, you go to the scripture, you say, well, wait a minute. Paul cursed. Did Peter curse? Magical structure refers to the pattern, repetition of stresses and unstressed syllables in poetry, and the underlying pulse or beat in music. Yeah, because poetry has the rhyme, right? And hip hop, rap is nothing but poetry. It's rough poetry, but it's poetry. You say a line, which is called a bar. You use a line, and you come up with another line that sounds like rhymes with. At one time they called hip hop rapping rhyme, spitting fire. So you take words and you put it in, you build upon the words. You edifice. You construct it. That's why they got to write. They got to write. Oh, let me change that word to this. Or somebody that speaks in prose, they just talking. You know, their grammar might not be 100%. So that's how Paul spoke. He didn't speak like Alexander Scorby. Look him up. So when these guys go on these shows, they try to speak proper. You got to speak prose, man. Not poetic. So now where am I at? Bear with me for a minute, y'all. And when they ask you about, what about the white man? You guys hear the white man? You tell them the truth. They said that if you're an Edomite, you're going into captivity. Well, I look like a white man, but could it possible be an Israelite? You got to tell them, yeah, it's possible, because you got to go to your genealogy. You're going to have Israelites that look just like Edomites. I've met Israelites that have blonde hair and blue eyes and pale skin and look just like Edomites, but they're Jakes. You see their mothers is blonde hair, blue eye, Scandinavian looking, and the father's like a light skinned Jake. And another thing y'all guys be going off on is you'll see somebody and it appears to be first of all, you're an Edomite. How do you know that you're an Edomite? He or she is an Edomite, eh? You guys be going off. A lot of you guys go out there and you babble. IUIC. You know what they do? they regurgitate the crap that not all of it's crap, but a lot of it is that Nate teaches, and they just memorize and they regurgitate it.
Listen to the answer Tazariak is going to give.
In the major infrastructures of the world, that if we was to remove that from society, society is directly impacted, like the oil, like energy, like air.
Which you ain't gonna get. Ain't no nigga gonna go down there and get dirty fucking building the shit to get oil. First of all, Jake don't like to work. Jake do not, the kingdom of Judah does not like to work. You know? They want something, nigga, you do it. So, hey, part of having a successful business is you got to put hours in, man.
Like, you know, shit that really matters. Agriculture, we don't have none of that. So that's what I'm asking. Like, okay, well, what's the answer on that?
Which in a way is a blessing. Why? Because this society is about to be destroyed. As it is written, it's clearly written.
That's what Captain Tazariak's supposed to tell them. You're supposed to cut them. They said, first of all, this system, this place, America that we're in, is going to be utterly destroyed in our lifetimes. It's going to be utterly destroyed. There's going to be a war. Jake don't watch the news. They don't watch the Ukraine, Russia, in the midst of war with Ukraine and Poland getting involved. Now Poland is fighting against Russia, which means that goes back to Article 5 of the NATO Article 5 of a NATO treaty. Article 5 of the NATO treaty is this: if any country, it used to be Russia, but if any country shoots missiles, attacks in any way another NATO country, then all the NATO countries have to back them up. Guess what? Russia's shooting missiles into Poland. So that's all. That now you got to open up the page where it goes into Article 5 of the NATO alliance, the treaty. Matter of fact, let me do this. So they keeping it under wraps. They were supposed to have been had World War III was supposed to take place. If one missile hit Poland, that's World War III. That's Armageddon. Let me do this. Did NATO attack Russia, or did Russia attack NATO? I should have put Poland. The Atlantic Treaty Organization, Russia engages in campaign against hostile against NATO members. Russia aggression against NATO members. Since spring of 2005, Russia hybrid warfare and military provocation against NATO countries have intensified. Wait a minute, they're already at war. Let me read that again. Russian aggression against NATO members. Since spring of 2005, so we're talking 6 months ago, Russian hybrid warfare and military provocations against NATO countries have intensified. This behavior includes airspace violation, sabotage, and espionage. So let me do this. Did Russia attack? Let me do it this way. Did Russia attack Poland? Okay, as of October 2025, which we're in October 2025, Russia has not launched a full-scale military invasion of Poland, a NATO member state. However, tensions have recently escalated following a massive Russian drone incursion into Polish airspace in September last month, 2025. So they're in your airspace. When you're in you're in international airspace, they can't mess with you. When you're in their airspace, they have to knock you down. So guess what? They're not doing nothing. You know what I'm gonna do? Significant recent September massive drone incursion. That means you got Russian drones on Polish side. So that's an act of war right there. Between September 9th and October September 9th and 10th, 2025, Poland's military confirmed that up to 23 Russian drones entered its airspace during a large-scale attack on Ukraine. That's when Article 4 has to come in play of that alliance. Polish and NATO aircrafts were scrambling, and Allied forces helped following NATO Article 4. Did I mention Article 4? NATO Article 4 invoked. Now look up NATO Article 4. That means they got to get together and have a meeting. They're saying, look, we have on record 23 Russian drones in our airspace. So what do we do about it? They keeping it under wrap because you know what that shows you? That NATO and America is afraid of Russia. You know? Russia's mean mugging the NATO. So they were supposed to have been had war. Continue airspace violation. A violation, right? Did not what happened? Was it? Damn, there's so much shit happening war-wise. I believe, was it the boat? The boat that was blown, they had a couple of boats from Venezuela. He said it was from Venezuela and they had drugs on it and they just shot him. And they said that wasn't in U.S. waters. They were not in U.S. waters. So that's an act of war right there. But here you got Russia. They ain't said nothing about shooting down no Russian. You know what I'm gonna do? Let me ask this. Let me see. Did Poland shoot down any Russian drones? Yes, Poland and its NATO alliance shot down Russian drones that violated Polish airspace during the night of September 9th to 10th, 2025. That's war. Why? What's up with the World War III? Russia sent drones over, 23 to be exact. And I'm reading it right here. Yes, Poland did shoot them down. That's an act of war right there. Why isn't this in the news? Let me come over here. Cause they scared. They scared of the black man. Inside joke. Mike Tyson said that. You scared of the black man. What's with Russia violating Polish airspace? That's an act of war. Trump reacts to Moscow drone inclusion on NATO ally. NATO ally. Moscow. Do you want me to read Article 5? Don't let me pull out Article 5 on your asses. So they're already at war. Moscow insists it did not plan to hit targets in Poland. After war, source says it shot down Russian drones in its airspace. A Polish soldier in unusual radar dot, and then NATO jets after Russian drones entered Poland, which is an act of war. Let me come down here. NATO forces shot down Russian drones, which is an act of war. And there's no ceasefire. Trump called for a ceasefire between Russia and Ukraine. And guess what? Russia's still taking. First of all, Ukraine is already taken. What's his name? Zelensky, he's probably in France and goddamn where. You notice you ain't seen this guy. You ain't seen this guy, man. He could be. They could have deleted him. So things are getting hot. The war was supposed to take place. This is an act of war. Russia sending 23 drones over Poland airspace. Poland retaliating by shooting some or all of them down. That's an act of war. That's an act of war. It's not in the news. I had to search for it. Anyway, let's come on back. I'm sorry. Let's come on back. Like I said, I didn't plan nothing, so... Okay, I'm sorry. Let me bring this back a little bit.
That from society is directly impacted, like the oil, like energy, like airline, like, you know, shit that really matters. Agriculture, we don't have none of that. So that's what I'm asking, like, okay, well,
and you're not going to get it until you get in the kingdom, until this man's taken down, until this system is destroyed. So that's what you should have said. You should have stopped him and said, look, he's thinking, well, we're going to be the next thing. We're going to get this money. We're going to build. No, you ain't going to do a damn thing. If you're one of the elect, you're going to be beamed up into a ship. Then they're going to think you crazy. Or you're just going to die over here, but you're going to come back in the kingdom. The stuff will be built back up in our kingdom. When this man gets taken down, then our kingdom comes up, which is the most Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai going to set up his kingdom.
what's the answer on that?
Which in a way is a blessing. Why? Because this society is about to be destroyed. As it is written, it's clearly written, the fashion of this world shall pass away. The things that we're looking for.
Oh, now check this out, right? I was trying to find this, but I lost it, but it came back again. It says, why would the federal government want our DL numbers? I guess that's driver's license, got to be, and the last four of our socials. Because that's one step closer to the, to that surveillance system. Like I said, when I renewed my license, when the last time I renewed my license was 8 years ago, then me coming about a month, August, it was August, because my thing was up, in the summertime. So I did it a couple of weeks before my license expired. And there's a whole different system. You at one time you're not required to give your telephone number, your smartphone number. But I had to give it like 3 times to write it on the paper, and the guy asked for it, and the woman asked for it. And she wrote, she typed it down in the system. What's your name and what's your smart? You got to give me it. You got to give me a smart, because they know everybody got a smartphone. Well, I can't afford one. Well, guess what? The government gives you can get free phones.
Are not temporal. They're eternal. The things that we now see are temporal. That's the message you're supposed to give. That this society is about to be destroyed. So why ponder on the things that you don't?
And that's what you're supposed to say. You're supposed to give it to them in a nutshell. The Most High set us down. We believe we're the prophets of the Lord. We believe the elect. And the only ones that are going to understand this and wake up to it and realize that they're Israelites and go out and be teachers and grow in this thing are the elect. If you endure to the end. Everybody on the planet is going to be tested as to whether they got to take a microchip or not. That's when the microchip argument comes in. Because some of these jakes know. They might know, I heard about that. I saw a movie on the market. Yeah, they're going to get the chips. There's a lot of people that know it. The actor, Gigliami, Noel, the actor that was in Training Day. I did a video on that based upon a video that Apostle Gabar did. And he went right into it. He said the mark of the beast and they chip you up and this, that, and the third. And then one of the brothers in the interview behind the scenes said it wasn't Nori, it was the other brother, the other dude. He said the mark of the beast. So people know. Oh, I'm sorry. Why would the federal government, and I read this already, so I got to watch this as short.
Society is about to be destroyed. We're very close to it. Yahushua is coming to destroy this society. and then set up his kingdom on the planet Earth. 2 Corinthians 4.
For the Israelites. So this goes into, and I'm going to get to it too. I'm going to go to Genesis 12, verse 3, and show you that, I believe it's the third verse, and show you that all the families of the earth shall be blessed, are all the families of Israel. Because the nations in our kingdom, they're not going to be blessed. When you're blessed, that means you don't work. If you hit the lotto, you don't work no more. People that hit the lotto for $10 million, $100 million, the first thing they'll say is, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to quit my job. Because they straight. So in the kingdom of heaven, it's going to be like us. Every Israelite that makes it, it's like we hit the lotto for $1 billion. So we straight. We don't got to work.
1:18, while we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. That's the kingdom, which is for to come. Yahushua is bringing that kingdom. And we can see it spiritually, we can see it coming. So we're not concerned with the present day things of this world when it's about to be destroyed. For the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal. That's what we're concerned about. Not the things that we see now. So this guy is all basically, he's bringing that tired old argument of we need to build up our economics in this world. You got moments in history where that was done, and it wasn't the salvation of so-called black people, all right? Case in point, Rosewood, Black Wall Street, all right? That wasn't the salvation. That wasn't the answer for the plight of our people. The only answer that makes sense is Yahushua coming and destroying the society, and then Yahushua being the head Israelite, the top Israelite, setting up his kingdom on the planet Earth, and by default, that's the kingdom of Israel, and beginning with the elect of the nation of Israel, ruling in tandem with Yahushua in righteousness, ruling this planet Earth in righteousness. That's the answer. And that's the answer a prophet, a true prophet, would give. Okay? It's just that simple, man.
Do you know what I saw? Go to the Most High.
You know what I saw? So now after that, right? The infrastructure starts with what?
Now listen to this. This is just pure psychobabble. Right about here is just pure psychobabble. And that just lets me know Captain Tazariak he's just a cult of personality. He's not a prophet. He's not a prophet. All right?
Yeah, because if he was in GMS, he wouldn't be doing all this, going on these different shows. And if you had to go on these shows, you tell him, give him the straight skinny. With the Israelites, the Most High is dealing with the so-called white people are Edomites. Some of them could be Israelites. It's based upon the spirit. The Most High is not gathering the whole nation. Our mission is not to wake up the whole nation. Our mission is to go out there and speak this word through the foolishness of preaching. And the Most High will tap you on the forehead if you're the elect and wake you up, and then you're going to join this thing. You're going to become a teacher. You're going to drop everything that you do. And in that process, you might lose your woman. You lose your woman when you come into this truth. Because your life changes. You know, you don't eat, if you ate pork. I didn't eat pork long before I came to school. The truth, I didn't eat no pork.
Shit that really matters, agriculture. We don't have
When I say not a prophet, I mean not a true prophet.
none of that. So that's what I'm asking. Like, okay, well, what's the...
Well, he's not a prophet anyway, because if he was a prophet, he would understand and teach that the mark of the beast is a chip. If he can't see it, that means the Most High is holding it from him. He's got blinders on. You know, other than that, he's regurgitating what he learned from ISUPK leadership. That's all he's doing. If General Yohana said, "Oh, I had a dream the Michael trip is real. It's the mark of the beast." So guess what? Captain Azariah could start teaching it. Guaranteed.
The answer on that.
Do you know what I saw?
Go to the Most High.
You know what I saw? So now after that, right? The infrastructure starts with what you build internally. So if I would take my organization, for example, that brother right there just came back from building a whole farm of animals. So now
You heard what he said? He didn't say that this society, hey brother, this society is going to be destroyed anyway. Our Lord Yahushua is on his way to destroy the society and then set up his kingdom on the planet Earth. We're about to, as a matter of fact, you could bring in 2 Peter, the 3rd chapter, right? 2 Peter, the 3rd chapter. You know, we're keeping our eyes on the prize. 2 Peter, the 3rd chapter, and beginning at 11th verse. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought you to be, in all holy conversation and righteousness, looking for and hasten unto the coming of the day of the Heavenly Father, which is really the day of Yahushua.
And very simple. None of these churches teach this. None of the black churches. None of them are teaching that. Going into Matthew 24, Luke 21, Mark 13, Matthew 21. The disciples asked him privately on the side, "What shall be the end of the world and thy coming? The sign of thy coming." And he goes, wars and rumors of war, earthquakes in diverse places, false prophets. And then he goes into, you know, how he's, matter of fact, you know what, let me do this real quick. So what do we learn today? World War III is supposed to be, it's commenced right now. We're supposed to be in the midst of World War III as of a month ago. Russia sent 23 drones. Come on, man. Come on. I'm sorry. Let me go right to the point. Right, he says in the end of the world. I want to go right to the point. Right, it says perilous times. It even mentions, Yahushua even mentioned the prophet Daniel. When ye shall therefore shall see the abomination and the desolation spoken of, that Daniel stand in the holy place, whoso readeth, let him understand. We were talking about 70 AD. Titus entering into the holy place. This is talking about 70 AD. (70 AD). Right. If you don't have people coming out saying the Messiah is here, he's in Florida, or he's in Texas, or whatever, he's in Canada, then you have stupid people following this guy, following this Messiah dude. Here it is. The churches don't teach this. They don't teach how when the Lord comes, he's coming back to bring fire. He even said that. What is that? Matthew 10:34, if I'm not mistaken. For as the lightning cometh from the east and shineth into the west, so shall the coming of the Son of Man be. For whosoever the carcass is, there shall the eagles be gathered together. Immediately after the tribulation, what is it? What is the Lord talking about? He's talking about Jeremiah 30 verse 7 and Daniel 12 verse 1. Immediately after the tribulation, or the time of Jacob's trouble, of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven. The stars falling from heaven are the missiles coming down looking like stars. And the powers of heaven shall be shaken and ultimately destroyed. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn. All the people of the earth going to mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of ships, UFOs of heaven with power and great glory. And he shall send his angels with the sound of a great trumpet as he gather. What does it say? And gather together his elect. Not all Israel. He's not coming for the whole nation. From the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. The majority is going to be here in America, but there's going to be elect that's scattered around the world. He described it, the Noah. But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man. For as in the days that were before, or the flood, they were eating and drinking. That's what they're going to be doing. It's going to be a regular days. People are going to have plans. Weddings are going to be scared. People are going to be in the wedding, seeing man and woman, or man and man, or woman and woman getting married. You know, people are going to be committing adultery. People are going to be on the highways, going places, doing things. It's going to be a nice, sunny, bright day. And then the sun, everything going to go black because the missiles are going to cover, excuse me, cover the, the missiles going to cover the sky. Everything going to go black, and then everything going to catch on fire, and you're going to be screaming, wailing, and gnashing at the teeth. Churches don't do this. They don't go into this. Matthew 13 and 38. Right quick. This is what vocab ain't talking about the end of the world. Because he doesn't notice the prophecies. It said, the field is the world, the good seed are the children of the kingdom, which are the Israelites, but the tares are the children of the wicked one, that's Esau. The enemy that soweth, this is the devil. The harvest is the end of the world. And the reapers are the angels. As therefore the tares, which are the Edomites, gathered and burned in the fire, that's the destruction. They're going to stay. They're not going to be picked up and carried to hell. Babylon the Great will become hell, the lake of fire. So shall it be in the end of this world. This world. That word right there is eon, which means a time of rulership. The Roman world, the second leg of the Roman world. You have Nero. Nero's back, and he said when he was Nero before he killed himself, he said, I'm coming back," and he did come back as Nero 47. The Son of Man shall send forth his angels, and they shall gather out of his kingdom all things that offend, and them which do iniquity. That's Amos 9, right? And shall cast them into a furnace of fire. He's not going to cast them in the actual furnace, but he's going to burn them up. Malachi 4:1. There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth. Then shall the righteous shine forth as the sun in the kingdom of their Father. Who have ears to hear, let him hear. That's the kingdom. It keeps giving references unto the kingdom. So that's what you're supposed to be talking. These are precepts. These are basic precepts. Matthew 24, Luke 20:21, Mark 13. Those are basics. Zechariah 14 and 12. Revelation 9, Revelation 18, Revelation 17. 2nd Ezra 15, 2nd Ezra 16, 2nd Ezra 13. Jeremiah, Hosea, all of them. Isaiah 34, Isaiah 14, Isaiah 13. It's the same prophecy coming to pass, but in different scenarios.
Coming to this planet Earth to bring salvation and destruction. Salvation to the elect
If somebody says, well, what if I don't accept this, Captain? What if I don't accept this? I was raised a Muslim. You know, my parents are Muslim. My grandparents are Muslim. What if I just say I'm going to be a Muslim? What's going to happen to me? Here in America, I said, you're going to be destroyed. And you're going to take the chip as a Muslim, because there's nothing in the Quran that tells you not to take the chip. The only book that tells you that is the scriptures, and that's written in every version of the Bible. So if you don't have a King James and you have an NLT, you're going to get the same message.
Elect destruction to the Edomites and all the other kingdoms, right? Looking for and hastening unto the coming of the day of the Lord, wherein the heavens being on fire. So Yahushua is coming with that fire. Luke 12:49, right? Shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. So whatever you built up in this society, your so-called infrastructure, is going to be destroyed anyway. That's the message you're supposed to bring, man. Talking about this brother just came back and he had a farm full of animals or whatever he said. What are you talking about, man? What are you babbling about? Let's keep reading. 13th verse. Nevertheless.
Yeah. All that you build, it's being built to be destroyed. You don't build nothing here in America. The scriptures speak about us being pilgrims on the earth. Be like pilgrims. That's in the scriptures and in the Apocrypha. Let me try something here. Be like pilgrims, Apocrypha. Okay, let me do it this way. It's in the scriptures. Give me a second. Let me do it this way. Bear with me for a minute, y'all. Okay, Hebrews 11 verse 13. These all died in the faith, not having received the promises, but having seen them afar off. And that's what's his name? Palantir means to see afar off, meaning they saw the future and were persuaded of them and embraced them and confessed that they were strangers and pilgrims on the earth. You know what I'm gonna do? Let me read that. Let me go to and I will look up the word pilgrim if you don't know what pilgrim means. These all died in faith, not having received the promise, but having seen them afar off in the form of prophecies, and were persuaded of them, and embraced them, and confessed that they were strangers and pilgrims on the earth. Let me go ahead and look at this in the NLT. All these people died still believing that what the Most High had promised them. These are Israelite prophets. They did not receive what was promised. The promise going back to Genesis, Abraham, the ultimate promise is the kingdom. But they saw it all from a distance and welcomed it. They agreed that they were foreigners and nomads here on earth. Nomad means you don't have no land that you can call your own. No, but I got my own land down south. Nope, you got to pay taxes on that land, or they'll take the land from you. Anyway, let's come back over here. So let me go to the Apocrypha. Let's see what the Apocrypha says. Maybe it's not even in the book. It should be in there. Somebody help me out. Let me try it this way. Let me do this. Bear with me for a minute. Okay, so you got pilgrimage. Look at that. 5 times. I beseech you as a stranger in pilgrims. Well, pilgrims is in there. Ain't this a bitch? Let me do it this way. Okay, came up pilgrimage. 2nd Ezra 8 verse 39. But I will rejoice over the disposition of the righteous, and I will remember also their pilgrimage and the salutations. I'm sorry, solutions, and the reward that they shall have. 2nd Ezra 16 and 40. O my people, hear, this is what I wanted. O my people, hear my word, the elect, make you ready to the battle, spiritual battle, and in those evils, we know about 2nd Ezra 16. We in the fulfillment of 2nd Ezra being fulfilled. Be even as pilgrims upon the earth. So the guy said, oh, he just built up a big farm. Well, you're supposed to be like a pilgrim. Let's look up the word pilgrim. And one of the words is nomads. Pilgrim. Give me a second. Pilgrim. Definition. I don't want this. Okay, pilgrim. I wanted the definition straight up. What is the real meaning of a pilgrimage? I'm sorry, let me put in pilgrim. I'm sorry. Pilgrim definition. A person who journeys to a sacred place for religious reasons. Do you know what that means? That anywhere we go to, it becomes a sacred place. That's why when you go to Isaiah 19 verse 18, 5 cities in the land of Egypt shall speak the language of Canaan. Those 5 cities represent cities in America. Egypt and Isaiah 19 is talking about America. So there's going to be 5 cities. They just use that number. It could be 10 cities, right? Don't get caught up in the number. It says 5 cities in the land of Egypt. These are sacred places in America that shall speak the language of Canaan, that shall speak the Paleo Hebrew, and shall what? Call on the name of the Lord. In what language? In the Paleo Hebrew. So what's us here being, like you got certain Israelites that say, oh, well, you can't keep the Passover because you got to keep it in Israel. Well, wait a minute. The first 41 years, in Egypt, they kept it. The first Passover was kept in Egypt. So what you talking about? The next 40 Passovers took place in the wilderness, which was in our land. So 41 Passovers took place before we got into our land. So what the hell are you talking about? So wherever we go in America, this place around the world, it becomes a sacred place because we're there. I'm ready again. A person who journeys, or persons who journeys to a sacred place for religious reasons. We're in this place because the Most High put us here to fulfill prophecy. So this wicked place, we made it a sacred place. Because the deliverance if the deliverance don't come out of America, then the Most High don't exist because he said it's going to take place in America. In code. What does it mean to be a pilgrim? To be a pilgrim means to undertake a long, often arduous journey. Typically, we're on a spiritual journey. Typically, to a sacred place. The sacred place ultimately is the kingdom. So we're at a pit stop in going to the kingdom with a religious or spiritual purpose. So when Captain Desiree said, "Oh, the brother built the farm," okay, he built the farm, big deal. But I hope you're not building the farm for the next 10 years. We're gonna have this farm next 10 pat. No, you gotta seek to the kingdom. And there's precepts on that particular subject. So let's come on back.
Unless we, according to his promise, look.
We are Israelites. We are Israelites. All the families of the earth shall be blessed. Genesis 12:3 are the Israelites. The families are the Israelites, not the other nations. The other nations are going to be our slaves.
Look for new heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. That's what you're supposed to talk.
Because this is not a righteous place. It's not a righteous place. It's a wicked place.
That's the answer you're supposed to give. Not talking about what you think you have in this society, which could be easily taken away from you. We're living in a time of martial law, man, where anything you think you possess can be taken away from you, including you. You could be taken and brought to a detention center. All right?
That's the test.
Be detained. All right? This is the reality that we live in now. ICE is out here just grabbing people up. Right? Because we're approaching the New World Order. In the New World Order.
And the brother that built the farm, don't you know, this with Nero's 47, he can take that farm. He can say, "We're taking the farm." He takes shit. He be taking shit, man.
The saying is that you will own nothing and be happy about it. So what are you talking about? Infrastructure, building it. My goodness, man. Let's hear some more of this psychobabble bullshit.
Whole farm of animals. But now we can grow our own.
Yeah, whole farm of animals. They're about to take you.
You're thinking of the long haul, like we're gonna be here for the next 20 years, which sounds like you don't believe that this man's coming. Now, let's go back to the mark of the beast. The technology's already out here. That they can chip. If everybody said we want to get chipped, they got the technology and the doctors and the tattoo artists to chip everybody, damn near everybody on the planet Earth. They got the technology. There's 50, 60,000 people in Sweden that got the chip. So let me bring this back.
Let's hear some more of this psychobabble bullshit.
Whole farm of animals. But now we can grow our own.
Yeah, whole farm of animals. They're about to take you, your farm, and your animals.
Did not I say that? They can say we're taking this because you didn't pay a certain tax on it. And you can say I got the paperwork. Nope, you ain't got it. We're taking it. So you're looking to be here for the long haul. That's in Babylon. I believe that's somewhere in Isaiah. King Marshall used to bring it out that we got to build farms and stuff like that. He was going off on that. Let me try something. I believe it's in there. Plant vineyards, Bible. Okay, that's it, Isaiah. I wasn't sure what chapter. Right, it's in Jeremiah 2. Yep, Jeremiah 2. It says, let me see. Jeremiah. Let me just take, do it this way. Let's go to the scriptures. I don't want the NLT, I want the KJV. Give me a second, y'all. Bear with me for a minute. Okay, 5th verse. Let's go to message to the exiles. Now these are the Jeremiah. I don't read the whole thing. Jeremiah. Now these are the words of the letter that Jeremiah the prophet sent from Jerusalem unto the residue of the elders, which were carried away captive. This is talking about Neo-Babylon, and to the priests and to the prophets and to all the people whom Nebuchadnezzar had carried away captive from Jerusalem to Babylon. So that's talking about then. That's talking about approximately 600, circa 600. I'm sorry, circa 600 BC, right? So we know right here it's talking about Babylon, Neo-Babylon, 2,600 years ago. So what Jeremiah is saying, we're going to be here for a while, so we can just go do farm, build things, right? It says, thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the Most High Israel, unto all that are carried away captives in Neo-Babylon, whom I have caused to be carried away from Jerusalem unto Babylon. This is not talking about America. Build ye houses and dwell in them, and plant gardens and eat the fruit of them. Take ye wives and beget sons and daughters, and take wives of your sons, and give your daughters to husbands, that they may bear sons and daughters, that they may be increased there under the captivity of the Babylonians, and not diminished. And seek the peace of the city whither I have caused you to be carried. In other words, be, if at all possible, be peaceful with all men, right? Live peaceably with all men. Romans. I believe that's Romans 19 and 12, if I'm not mistaken. Carried away captives, and pray unto Yahweh for it, for in the peace thereof shall ye have peace. For thus saith the Lord of hosts, the Most High of Israel, let not your prophets and your diviners that be in the midst of you deceive you, neither to hearken to your dreams which ye cause to be dreamed. Now, why did the Most High tell Jeremiah to have kids, give your sons, get wife for your sons, get married, have kids, this and that, build things, plant? Did I come across the word plant? Right, plant gardens. That was talking about over here. It's not talking about now. And King Marshall used to always bring that up, and we used to say, "Nah, that ain't talking about now. That was talking about back then." There's another one in Isaiah 65, which I'm not going to go to. They will build houses and dwell in them. Says the same thing. So you can remember these. You can write that down, right? Jeremiah 29 and 5, Isaiah 65 and 21, New International Version, they will build houses and dwell in them. They will plant vineyards and eat the fruit thereof, right? So that's not talking about now. We ain't trying to build nothing. We're like pilgrims in the earth. We're on a pilgrimage, a spiritual pilgrimage.
That's what the New World Order is all about, man.
And see, what this man's supposed to be telling you is what time frame are we in? What time frame are we in this whole prophetical thing? We're in the end times. We're at the end. We're in the home stretch. So you don't build things and do this and become politics. Look, you had the leaders of Israel become politicians back in old the new Neo Babylon. Did not Daniel become a president? That's in Daniel chapter 6. Did not Zerubbabel become governor of Judah? So they had to work with the look when they built back up the temple. They were financed by the decree of Cyrus, which died. So they had to go to the records, and they say, "Yep, Cyrus did say that. We got to finance them. We got to honor this man Cyrus," and that was all set up by the Most High. Then you had the that's in what is it, Ezra, right? Ezra 4. I'm not going to go to it, but you had Zerubbabel, Joshua the high priest, and the chief men over Israel, the leadership over Israel, and they were all building with their hands the temple, and the other nations wanted to join in with them, and they said, "Nah, this ain't for you." That cuts what that whole the Lord come for the Gentiles. No, the Lord never come for the Gentiles. If the Lord came for the Gentiles, why would Zerubbabel and Joshua the high priest say, "No, you can't build with us"? They said, "We follow your same God." Nope, you can't build with us. Matter of fact, I'm sorry. Let me go to that. Ezra. Did I spell it right? Ezra. Okay, Ezra 4. Adversaries hinder the work. The adversaries are the other nations. Now, when the adversaries of Yehoiada and Benjamin, which is Judah, Benjamin, Levi, heard that the children of the captivity built the temple unto Yahweh the Most High, notice they were adversaries, enemies. Then they came to Zerubbabel and the chief of the fathers and said unto them, "Let us build with you, for we seek your God as ye do, and we do sacrifice unto him since the days of Hasar-Rathodon, king of Assyria." That was Shalmaneser the fifth. Shalmaneser the fifth, and I'm going to prove that to you. Which brought us up hither. That goes back to what is that? What is that? 2 Kings 17, round about the 20th verse. Because they had to send a priest. Matter of fact, let me just go ahead and do this. Let me see what it says. Shalmaneser was a title. So you had a Shalmaneser 1, 2, 3, 4. The father of Shalmaneser the fifth was Shalmaneser the fourth, which is a title. Let me see what they say. Let's see what they say. Because they were worshiping the Most High because they were forced to. Right, king of Assyria in the 7th century BC. Ashur has given a brother. They ain't going into the history. Let me try this. I already know what it is. I just want to bring it up so nobody can act, Give me a second here. Okay, let me do this. Let me see what information the chat's gonna give me. Bear with me for a minute, y'all. Nope, I don't want that. Well, I do, but let me do this. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all. Who is right, the son of Sennacherib, who is also mentioned in the Bible, the father, key historical Bible points. Okay, rebuilding Babylon and conquering Egypt, connection to okay, he is historically known for deporting people and repopulating conquered lands, including Samaria. That's second Kings 17. He put them in the land, those other nations, because remember, the northern kingdom was out of the land of Samaria. So he put other nations in there, and they were doing what they were doing, following their gods, and the Most High sent lions on them. So this is who this guy is talking about. So let me see. I'm sorry. Let me come on back. So this is Shalmaneser V. But they should have told you that. Which brought us up hither. But Zerubbabel and Joshua the high priest, the rest of the chief of the fathers of Israel, said unto them, Ye have nothing to do with us to build an house unto our power, but we ourselves together will build unto Yahweh the Most High of Israel, as King Cyrus the king of Persia hath commanded us. Then the people of the land weakened the hands of the people of Judah and troubled them in their building. This is also in the Apocrypha. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but you can read the whole chapter. So that's these Christians coming up against us. We're building the kingdom. We're telling, we're pushing this word out for the sake of the elect to come in and to continue to teach this truth. So you got these Christians saying, well, no, the Most High came for the Gentiles. That's talking about all the other nations, and no. And really, to other nations, we're going to be up over the Israelites. This is what this clown Vocab is teaching. When you go to Revelation, this is what Vocab actually taught. He said, when you go to Revelation 7 and you read about the 144,000, they're not talking about Israelites. They're talking about the body of believers, which are Christians. This is why I say call the cops on this guy. He's a demon. He's a straight up demon. So this is what the captain's supposed to be taught. He's bringing out mixed messages, man.
Esau coming to take everything and then put a chip inside of you so you be totally controlled.
So why ain't they teaching about the chip? Because the teachers didn't teach him that. And he's not going to buck up against the leadership of ISUBK. You know when he might buck up against it? When it actually comes. When he actually has a goal for the appointment and get the chip. Now, hopefully, General Yohanan and Bishop Nathaniel, hopefully they'll say we were wrong. The chip is the mark of the beast is a microchip. Don't take it. If they say no, go ahead and take it. Like I said, I said this many a times. I said there's going to be a major shakeup in Israel when that prophecy comes to pass. There's going to be motherfuckers that's not going to know what to do, which way to turn. And if you stupid enough to follow your leader, if your leader happens to say, oh no, you can take it, and you take it, that's on you. That's on you. And I'm going to say this. Any of you guys that getting ready to fall off or get kicked out in the GMS, and you guys, one brother, you know, he fell out. He gonna take that chip. I mean, I was cool with the brother, but he just did it. He no longer wanted to come around no more, and he put in years. We talking about he came in 2008. Not talking about this one brother, but many brothers through the years did that. Came into this thing, put work in, and they went back into the world. Guess what? Every last one of you that's not a part of this circle, this sacred circle, you're going to take that chip if you live long enough.
This guy, Tazariak, is not a prophet. He's not a prophet, man. And he's given the wrong message. And notice he's not going to know.
I'm not going to say he's a prophet or not a prophet, but if he ultimately, if he tells people to go ahead and take the chip, there's nothing wrong with it, he's not a prophet. If he's going, well, his eyes are not fully open. So we can say that he's not a prophet because if he was a prophet, he would agree with GMS. He would say, nope, the mark of the beast is the microchip. So it remains to be seen. But what he's teaching now has not. You ain't telling these guys nothing. You're supposed to put the fear of the Most High in them, so they can consider reading. They ain't reading the scriptures. These guys are talking about their accomplishments. Well, we got a brother that built a farm, and now we have the no
scriptures.
Animals, that's agriculture. I got another brother, Kadazai, in Texas. We got farms in Texas, so we can build that.
Yeah, they got farms in Texas.
Him saying that is talking about we're going to be here for the long haul. Guess what? We've been here for the long haul, man. We got over here in the end of the 1500s and the 1400s. Up until now, we're talking about 500 plus years. What do you mean you building for the long haul? We've been here for 500 years.
We can build that. Hey, here's a scripture for you.
You got guys that open up schools. GMS, where's that school at? The school, your school is in your mind. It's the web. Well, I need to go down and sit in the actual class and this, that, and the third. I said, well, you know what? I'll help you out. IUIC got classes you can go to. Okay, you want to sit down? They got seats for you. We don't have seats for you. You get on the web and you watch these videos and you take notes, and if you're one of the elect, the Spirit is going to guide you to one of the camps. Let's say you live in Texas. Let's say you live close to like Dallas, Texas. That's going to lead you to go to that camp. Or you live in LA. That's going to lead you to go to that particular camp. If you're one of the elect. All these brothers that came in, they came in through the web. A lot of these guys don't know what they're involved in. Apostle Gabar always says that. A lot of you people don't know. You just follow. You go to a particular camp, and whatever whatever they teach you, their curriculum, you just kind of memorize it, and you you regurgitate, especially IUIC. They're masters of regurgitation. Not snapping on them, just telling the truth. You know? Before Nate started teaching the hell doctrine, which we talking about going on 3.5 years ago, everybody prior to 3.5 years ago, a week before 3.5 years, and you brought up the subject of hell. Oh, that hell is a condition plate on earth. Nope, hell is really the pit. When they put a dead person in the ground in a sepulcher, he's in hell. It means pit. Nate said, "Oh, hell is a place where your soul burns in forever, like the Roman Catholics and the Greeks." What them guys do? I had no problem with it. They started teaching it. A week, 2 weeks before that, they were teaching something other. That's showing you that Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua is not dealing with IUIC and the ISUBK. Now, hopefully there's elect among them. Hopefully the leadership are the elect. Hopefully Johanna is one of the elect. Hopefully Bishop Nathaniel is one of the elect. And if they are one of the elect, they're going to tell the people, look, we're going off. Don't take that chip. What about GMS? GMS was right. Now, we're going to see. We'll know. When it's time to take that chip, be ready to fucking die. Be ready to be put in an internment camp or get your head chopped off.
I will tear down my bonds. I know the word bonds is in there. Notice it.
Oh, that's a cut. That's a cut
Yeah,
right
no
there.
scriptures. The great Captain Tazariak, nothing but a cult of personality.
And that's what he is, whether he wants to be or not. The street, whatever, what's that thing, street stars or whatever. Oh, we got the famous Cap, and he's loving all of that, man.
This is Luke 12 and 16. Luke 12 and 15, let's start there. And he said unto them, take heed and beware of covetousness, for a man's life consisteth not in the abundance of the things which he possesseth. Let's build an infrastructure. This brother just came back he has a farm over there and a lot of animals, and we just purchased some land. And
Now, if the guy has a farm, he's been a farmer all his life, that's what he does. That's how he makes his living. But y'all, the way y'all are saying it, you got to give me the whole story. The way y'all are saying it, like y'all going to be here for the long haul. The Lord ain't coming no time soon. We're going to be here for at least another 25 years. No, that means you're not a prophet. We know that this man is coming, the man is getting ready to go down inside of months. Whether it be 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, 24 months, 30 months, 36 months. We're down. This guy's got to be the last. He's the last guy. He's the last emperor. This guy right here. He's the last emperor. That's Nero 47.
we did this and we're doing that and we're building bigger things and blah, 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 blah. Again, take heed and beware of covetousness, for a man's life consisteth not in the abundance of the things which he possesseth. And he spake a parable unto them, the he is Yahushua, saying, the ground of a certain rich man brought forth plentifully. And he thought within himself, saying, what shall I do? Because I have no room where to bestow my fruits. And he said, this will I do. I will pull down my barns and build greater. Yeah, let's build this infrastructure. And the thing is, you're building on a land that is about to be destroyed. Yahushua is coming with destruction. So you're building on a failed.
You know what Esau could do? It's called, what's the term? Damn, it's right on the tip of my tongue. Eminent domain. Eminent domain. Eminent domain. That means if they want to build a highway and it's going to go over your farm, guess what? You got to tear down that farm for them to put the highway through there. It's called eminent domain. So they can take your farm. But they'll compensate you. You might say, well, the farm is worth 2.5 million. They might say, well, look, we'll give you 500,000. So you're asked out. This is this man's world. It's not yours. Let me go ahead and look that up. Eminent domain, meaning. Eminent domain. The right of a government or its agent to expropriate private property. Well, this is our property. We built the land. I got the deed. They don't care. We the government. For public use with payment of compensation. Now, they can say, we had our assessors. You say it's worth 2.5 million. Our assessors came by and they say that it's worth 500,000. So, this is all we're going to offer you. So you didn't put all that work in, which is worth 2.5 million. All you're going to get is not even half of it. And we're in a time where all hell is breaking loose. The Most High getting ready to destroy this fucking place. This is that beast on fire in Daniel chapter 7. Like I said, if there's a man, he's been farming he's from a family of farmers and you got to farm good. That's all good. But don't say, okay, we're going to go over here, we're going to get this land and we're going to build this farm so that we can have the Passovers here because we're going to be here for at least another 25, 30 years. Anybody that says, like Sicaria, we got on Sicaria, he said we're gonna be here for 1 million years. We got him, we jumped on him. And he got mad, but he had no reason to get mad, because how in the hell are we gonna be here for another fucking 1,000 years? So you mean to tell me the beast system's gonna be here for another 1,000 years? The technology for the chip is already here. There go talking about the chip. Things are getting ready to pop off. Don't you see what's going? This guy, ever since this guy been in office going on not even 10 months, he raised all kind of hell. Niggas is afraid that they're gonna get their Section 8 cut off. They're cutting off WIC. And so we're gonna cut off WIC, we're gonna cut off food stamps, we're gonna cut off every fucking thing. Oh, they said now you gotta work for your food stamps. So let's come on back. You got to be in the mindset of getting the fuck up out of here. That's a topic right there.
Substance. Okay? I will pull down my barns and build greater, and there will I bestow all my fruits and my goods. And I will say to my soul, soul, thou hast much goods laid up for many years. Take thine ease, eat, drink, and be merry. But the heavenly Father said unto him, thou fool, this night thy soul shall be required of thee. Then whose shall those things be which thou hast provided? And really, in this society, the reality is we don't own anything. You can build up your infrastructure all you want to, but as soon as you build it up, boom, it's taken away from you. Because we are nothing but slaves in this society. That's the real reality. That's the truth. And the only one that can liberate us from the slavery is Yahweh Shai. And that's what he's coming to do. He's literally coming to liberate us from slavery. Destroy this society, liberate us from slavery, and bring us back to rulership where we belong, where we're going to rule this planet in righteousness. But that can't happen until this society is destroyed. What is Captain Zariak talking about? So is he that layeth up treasure for himself. That's what it sounds like Captain Zariak is talking about. He's laying up treasure for himself. No doubt using the truth to do it. So is he that layeth up treasure for himself and is not rich toward Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. There you go. That says it all right there. Let's go.
I desire in Texas. We got farms in Texas, so we can build.
You got farms in Texas. Okay.
That economically, if we don't bring our resources together, I think they got this term where the black dollar leaves out the black community fast.
Couple minutes.
Right, couple minutes. And most people think that that's a smart thing to say that. Not realizing half of the stuff that we actually spend money on is bills. So we don't control that. So let's remove the bills like your gas, your electric.
You don't control anything, man. You're nothing but a slave in this society. And they can come and take you and your so-called possessions, and ain't a goddamn thing you can do about it. Okay?
Let's remove that. Let's just stick to our commerce. If you start a business and you start a business, I start a business, we would support you in here. Like I have a business. I have a business.
This is not the message. This is not the message of the prophets. All right?
It's not the message of the prophets. They're talking about networking with people. You're supposed to get them ready for this destruction, man. Get their mind set for this destruction that's coming in. And what side of the destruction you're gonna be on. When this system go down and you got a chip in you, you ain't fucking making it. Let me get you another precept. And Elder Pashai, he looks disgusted. He said, this is not he had a disgusted look on his face. But that's, hey, he should have joined GMS. He started with GMS. He should have finished with GMS. Where did I say I was going to go? What is that? Damn. Give me a second. 1 Corinthians 4:9, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, there we go. This is what I wanted. For I think that the Most High have sent forth us, the apostles last, as it were appointed to death, for we are made a spectacle unto the world, and a spectacle, meaning people going to look at us. It tells you in Hebrews 12:1, I believe, or 2, I believe it's 1. It speaks about a great cloud of witnesses. That means people are watching us on the web. It says, for we are made a spectacle unto the world, and to angels and to men. Let me look up the word world. The word should be cosmos, which are the Israelites. Yep, cosmos. We are a spectacle to the Israelites and to angels. They're watching to the spiritual realm, and to men. And for that matter, men of other nations as well. Because they're watching us too. That's why they're trying to, get a loophole into the kingdom. Why do these Christians do that? Because they say, well, what if it's true? We got to show them that they're going off. Because we're doomed. Give me a second here. Let me do this. And you can't be a secret Israelite. You can't be a guy that might put up videos. They don't see your face. They don't know who you are. Or you take a video that maybe I did and you re-upload it. That ain't the work. Your face has got to be there. So when they come to get people, they know to get you. It says, let me read this again. For I think that the Most High have sent forth the apostles last, as it were appointed to death. We're appointed to death, for we are made spectacles unto the world, and unto angels, and unto men. We are fools for the Messiah's sake, but ye are wise in the Messiah. We are weak, but ye are strong. Ye are honorable, but we are despised. Even unto this present hour, we both hunger and thirst, and are naked, and are buffeted, and have no certain dwelling place. And no certain dwelling place. That goes in the word domain. You don't have no domain. Esau could take, like I said, Esau can use eminent domain. And I gave you the definition. Hunger, meaning they're going to cut off the food stamps, the wick. Nakedness, the clothes that you get, you got to go buy the clothes. Esau gave you the money. Buffeted, meaning slapped around. Dwelling place. That's where you got the, eminent domain. They can say, okay, let's build a... You know what Esau does? They'll build a highway. There's this Jake neighborhood. All around the country, there's Jake neighborhoods that prosper, right? Esau says, I'm going to build a highway right through that place. I'm not going to kick them out. I'm going to let them keep their community, but I'm not going to put an exit there. You got to go 10 miles to get off of the exit to go to that community. Now, you know how you see something, I'm hungry. The first exit you hit, it might be all Jakes. There's documentaries on that. So Esau do this. They'll say, oh, no, you can keep your community. We're going to build a highway right next to your community. But guess what? Here's the catch. There's not going to be an exit. So if somebody really wants to go to your community, they got to go 10 miles and then turn back around and take the local roads to come back to you. And that always happens. If you look it up, you can find stories on that, documentaries on that. So Esau do it to you this way. Esau smile on your face and shake your hand, knowing that that community is gonna go down. What do they do to Black Wall Street? They blew it. Matter of fact, let me do this. It says, in no certain dwelling place. Meaning Esau can they can bomb your ass. They did that to Black Wall Street. Let's go to that. So you mean to tell me they can't use eminent domain? Here we go. Eminent domain, the right of a government or its agent to agent is what do you call it? NGO, non-governmental organization, meaning they're a private organization that works with the government. Expropriates or takes private property for public use with payment of compensation. See, Jake, don't look up these words. Now, what did I say? Okay. The attack on Black Wall Street. Tulsa Race Massacre. Tulsa Race Massacre redirects here for November 1917 mob attack. See Tulsa outrage. What is this? The 1921 Tulsa Massacre. Okay, there was riots in 1917, and there was a massacre. The Destruction of Black Wall Street, A Beginner's Guide. This is May 31st, 1921. The economy they built from the ground up. Now, I can do the research, which I'm not going to do. They got the money because they received compensation. They received reparations. So they use the reparations to make them, they were lawyers, doctors, you know. But the only thing they didn't have was a military, right? The economy they built from the ground up came crashing back down again, literally. Masses 1217, some old story. You know what I want to do? Okay. Let me do this. Did the U.S. attack Black Wall Street? Question mark. Okay, let's see what they say. While there is no record of the U.S. government launching a direct attack on Black Wall Street, local authorities and the Oklahoma National Guard were directly involved in and facilitated the remember local National Guard? It says Oklahoma National Guard. They got the National Guard in Chicago. Or they bringing them there. Facilitate the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre. The National Guard helped imprison thousands of black residents after the massacre. You got massacred, and the reward you got in prison. And some were armed and deputized by local city officials to join the white mobs. Let's read that again. While there is no record of the U.S. government launching a direct attack they can launch an indirect attack on Black Wall Street, local authorities and the Oklahoma National Guard, which is federal, were directly involved in the facilitating the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre. Massacre. So they can massacre you. They can use eminent domain to take your farm. Okay, you got to destroy the farm. We'll give you $500,000. Take it or leave it. Okay, you don't want to take it. We ain't give you shit. You got to be out of here at the end of the month. Get all your cows and chickens and shit and get the fuck up out of here. We tearing this motherfucker down. And it was all over. They thought a man. It was a man in the elevator. That's back in the day. I remember you had the elevator operators, and there was a woman, and I think she bumped into the man, and they went around saying, "Oh, this man touched her," you know, because a white woman was so pure back then, and I believe they killed them or jailed them or something. They wound up killing them. Then they just took it out on the whole, and a lot of them Edomites were mad because they were doing so well, you know. So, I mean, you can make a movie on that. You make money. So, anyway, we're not here to build up things. We're not here to build a black Hebrew Israelite Wall Street. So let's go ahead and listen.
This is why the prophets weren't accepted. See, this is how you know this man's not a prophet, man.
He's not a prophet, not at all.
Yeah, he's not a prophet because he doesn't know the whole truth. He hasn't swallowed the whole roll. Because, like I said, if he was, he would not buck up against the the mark of the beast. And there's other things that they don't go with, but that's the main thing, because they do teach the name of Yahweh by Shem Yahushua. I give them credit on that. But the main thing, which is a major prophecy that's getting ready to come to pass, if you're not teaching that, then Yahweh by Shem Yahushua is not dealing with you in the spirit. Because the spirit, if the spirit was dealing with you, you would have dreams on that. You would have dreams on, you would see people getting marked, and you might hear a voice. That's the fulfillment of Revelation 13:16. The Lord is not dealing with you. So as it stands, you're not a prophet. You're not a prophet. I know you mean well, but you're not a prophet. Until you teach the 100% truth. The scriptures speak about adding to the book and taking away from the book. All the words of the Most High are pure. So anyway, let me let this play.
Well said, Elder Pashai. He's not a prophet. And all what you just heard, that's pure psychobabble. Okay?
Right? Because the prophet.
Yeah, because you didn't give the message of the truth of the Most High.
His message wasn't accepted, man. All right? This is smooth. That's smooth things. All right? Now, I want to, you know what? Let me get that scripture, man. That's.
You just got to laugh, man. Anyway, on to the next video.
Shalom, on to the next. Like this Irish mate right here. He went into it. He said, there's a chip. They're going to put it in your right hand on your forehead. And if you don't comply, anyway, cruel Lord. Anyway, Shalom, on to the next.